Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and this is Dwarf Fortress 2014 Anvilquested. And if it looks a little different to you, that's because I've upgraded to the new version. 4.0.19, maybe? What's cool about it, and this will be a happy thing to JB, is that the date is shown now on the screen. So we are in the year 155, and it's the third day, I guess, of the second month. Let's be sure about that. Yeah, the third of Felsight, which is the second month in 155. So that's the American way of showing dates. So now you guys can always know at any given time when we are. So the new version has a lot of interesting things. It has a new emotion system, which we're not going to be going into. As you can see, everyone here is thrilled because I cheated. But what's unique about it is when we do our dwarf profiles, and come to think of it, I haven't actually prepared a dwarf profile for this one. So I'm just going to go with Elena Blades, since we talked about her in the last appendix. So Elena Blades is the wife of Olin, the daughter of Elena and Alpha Blades, the granddaughter of Cogsack, and the niece of young Guan Yu. Interesting. And the niece of Infinite, the cousin of Monkey Mark Mario, Lilu Multipass, Dr. Quacksalver, and Jan, and a cousin of Kivish. Also on friendly terms with a number of people in the fort. Gosh, a lot of people, but no enemies. So you'll notice the thoughts and preferences screen's a little different. Everybody has like a funny quote. Like for example, hers is, "Do you have dreams? Tell me a story." She is married to Olin, we saw that already. She is 45 years old, born on the 17th of Slate in the year 110. She's incredibly skinny. She has very high cheekbones. Her very long hair is tied in a ponytail. Her nose bridge is somewhat concave. Her copper eyes are slightly closed set. Her somewhat short head is somewhat narrow. That's really nice. Hey, your head's somewhat short and narrow, but you're great, really. Her hair is chestnut, her skin is copper. She's incredibly quick to heal and quite durable, but she is quick to tire and quite clumsy. Elena Blades likes selenite, iron, fortificating agate, or fortification agate. She likes fortificating. That's good. Giant sloth leather, the color lime green, or the color lime, gems, scepters, donkeys for their stubbornness, and merpeople for their tails. When possible, she prefers to consume spiny dogfish, tapir cheese, and cranberry wine. She absolutely detests blood gnats. She has a great feel for social relationships, very good focus, and a good kinesthetic sense, but she has meager creativity, little linguistic ability, a poor memory, and next to no natural musical ability. That's okay, the only music I expect her to make is with her steel sword. She personally views cooperation as a low ideal, not worthy of any respect. Oh, that's good. Wait, that's a great militia captain we've got there. Wonderful. Finds blind honesty foolish, values tranquility and a peaceful day, and values good craftsdwarfship. She dreams of mastering a skill. Well, she'll be like a warrior monk then, because she values tranquility. And another thing it tells you, although it didn't for her, is it'll tell you like the last thing that happened to them in terms of their emotions. Like it'll say she admired a wonderful door, or she lost a friend, or something. But that's Elena Blades. She wants you to tell her all about your dreams. And she's currently leading an armor demonstration. Or wait, no, that's not her. But anyway, alright. So what are we going to do in this episode? Well, in this episode, we are going to initiate the project. We're finally ready. So let's quickly look it over. Here's the top floor, and I've also created a little cafe here with little tables and chairs and some food so dwarves can come and hang out and relax and watch the beautiful mushroom trees and farms and things that are going on below, although right now nothing's going on. But you know, I had an idea. Let's see here. There we go. And... okay. Never mind. I thought you could name them, but apparently you can't. You can name dormitories, but you can't name dining halls. Alright, so here's our thing. We have 1 floor, 2 floor, 3 floor, and finally the bottom floor. Now this portion down here is recently dug out. This is where I'm going to be raising animals and growing crops, specifically crops for thread, because we're going to start our own cloth industry. Up here with the pillars, this is the 4-story portion where we're going to try to grow mushrooms. Here it's only 1 story, and it's for the things we stated. So I believe we're ready to go. Before we ruin our fortress, though, let's just be sure of it. So this is the farm cover. No, that's not what I want. Farm release. That's what we want to try. So let's just double check that the release floodgate works here. Okay. Nothing so far. Oh, yes. There it is. It works. Okay, wonderful. Alright. So we're set. Let's go ahead and close that. And we're ready to go. So, here is the staircase. And here's the staircase again. And here's this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to dig a channel here and here. And we're just going to wait for the miners to get out here to do that. One of the things you can do in the new version is you can harvest fruit from fruit trees, but all the fruit trees are outside of the fort, so I'm not really doing that to protect my guys. Also, you can build a stepladder and get fruit from the treetops, but because I created this world in the previous version, I can't do that. I can simply gather fruit from the ground. It's a new zone in the zones menu. It's a gather fruit zone. Okay, here they come. Alright guys, thanks a lot. Oh, they're a little nauseous because the miners aren't used to being out in the open, so they're moving a bit slower than you would expect.
Did you see what I did with this thing?
But they're coming. Oh, also, here's the Oberstigaz, the hero rasps and iron battle axe. That normally, if you'd look at it, it would say all the kills that it had, but since it has no kills. Oh, we also have a Tir Kazat, the Die of Dangers, a diorite scepter. This is a diorite scepter. All craft store ship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with round diorite cabochons and encircled with bands of highwood, pig leather, and pecan wood. This object is adorned with hanging rings of giant cave spider silk and menaces with spikes of pig leather and pecan wood. On the item is an image of hail sabers, the pig iron chain leggings in pig bone. A lot of pigs here. We've got pig iron, pig leather, pig bone. And it was created by Yossarian, so it's worthless to us because Yossarian was already a legendary crafter, stone crafter, and now he's a legendary stone crafter again, I guess. Alright, done. So now what we need to do is we're going to build a floor so no one can get into our fortress from here. And we'll build it out of blocks. How about mica blocks? Why not? That way we can save our chert for our outdoor constructions. All right, so that's happening. So now we watch it happen. Here comes the water. Very fast, I might add. Oh well, that's good. At least we're gonna have plenty of time not to drown our fortress. While we're waiting, I have to create 2 new training rooms, but before I do that, we're going to add Elena Blades to the training, this room. Okay, and we're going to set them to train. Alright, and I have Marcus creating steel swords for them. Alright, so everybody in the cafe right now is going to be treated to a wonderful sight. Who's going to be watching this momentous occasion? Ustath, Tinfoil Cookies, Ara, Ray Joseph, and a kid. And Zygomantis, and apparently his cat, O'Neill. Alright, so here we go. So I just want to make sure the water touches every corner. I don't care how high it gets, of course, because I can release it here. And as long as it doesn't get high enough to cross up into here, we're okay. That white stuff in the middle, in case you're wondering, is mist from the falling water. Dwarves actually really dig that. It makes them happy. So some people like to have elaborate systems where there's a waterfall in their dining room that generates mist to make their dwarves happy. I've never actually done that because it's really complicated and you can potentially kill dwarves, and I find other ways of making them happy. Like cheating. but one of these days maybe I will. So what happens here is as the water spreads out, it muddies the ground, which makes the ground fertile and able to grow crops, for animals to eat moss, and for, hopefully, as part of my experiment, giant mushrooms to grow. So far, no giant mushrooms have grown in our 1Z level areas. I mean, we have saplings, I guess, like the start of them. Young goblin cat, but they haven't actually done anything. They haven't turned into anything. So, yeah. So this is probably going to take a while, actually, now that I think about it. We have some new statues in the dining hall. The most interesting, I think it's this one. No, it's a Forgotten Beast by Sigun. Sigun? Why is some random unnamed guy making statues? I have to look into that soon. Not right now. But this is Crom the Historian, and it is a statue of the Tunnel of Pulp, the Minotaur, and Gordosh. What's cool about it is it shows Gordosh mortally wounding the Minotaur. So this is Gordosh's favorite statue in the whole Anvilquested. And he deserves it. He mortally wounded a Minotaur. That's pretty cool. Even though the Minotaur was down 2 Z levels and Gordosh was behind fortifications. Still a notable and worthy action. And I guess my sparring commands are working because everybody seems to be sparring quite a bit. Oh, you can see I moved my cage traps back so that the goblins will be encouraged to come all the way in. And then I have some more cage traps here for an emergency. And the military is as big as it's going to get for the short term. We'll replace people if they die, but I don't think I need any more than 4 squads of 6 melee dwarves and 2 squads of 5 ranged dwarves. That's quite a lot. Alright. So here's our mining floor that I showed you in the 3D visualizer. I'm just going to look and quickly see if there's stuff I could still dig out. And there is. There's some opal here. Some opal here. Some opal here. We found a tunnel that leads down all the way to the second cavern layer, but I closed it up because I don't want creatures to be able to come through it. And I was going to use it to get down to this tetrahedrite, but I think I'm not. I think I'm going to get all mining floors from the elevator. I was going to say the elevator, the staircase. And there's also a way up to the second layer, or first layer, but I closed that up too. Now I know where stuff is and what's on each floor. I can just dig there naturally. So you see how I do it? I kind of dig long exploratory tunnels, and when I bump into something, I just dig it out. Like if I bump into a vein. I think I've pretty much stripped this entire floor of metal. Oops. So I'm just getting the gems out, and then once that's done, we're going to close it up. Lock the doors so it doesn't impact our FPS. Alright, well, we're getting there. We're getting there. What else can I show you? So we now have a large amount of steel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 and 1 levels of it. A bunch of pig iron, a bunch of iron, a bunch of copper, silver, lead, tin. No zinc. As I mentioned, sphalerite is only found in that first cavern layer. Got some statues here, some iron statues. Not sure if they're... Oh, here's one of Cameron, so Cameron will like this. It's an exceptional iron statue of Cameron. The item is an exceptionally designed image of Cameron, the dwarf, and the coil of maws, the hematite floodgate in iron by Crom the historian. Cameron is raising the coil of maws. The artwork relates to the creation of the coil of maws in Anvilquested by the dwarf Cameron in 152. Wow, it's been 4 years since he made that. Let's see how much marble we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4.5 screens of it, okay? And charcoal. 1, 2. Oh, wow, we need some charcoal. Wow, I have 2 wood burners now, working full time. So I don't understand why that's not happening. Oh gosh, we need to make some crafts. Holy goodness. Okay. Yeah, leather's tough for us. We only have 1 piece of pig leather, which I'm saving just in case someone has a mood. We have tons of cloth. Now who's in the little cafe? We have Catan, wife of Balder, the Etruscan, Sodel, and Huga. There's Huga. Hello, Huga. Huga is very excited about keeping all of our stockpiles full. But apparently right now he's excited about watching a giant waterfall 4 stories deep pour into a dugout cavern. We have a ton of legends, by the way. We have 44. I haven't moved them into the legendary housing yet. In fact, I have to make more legendary housing. I'll do that at some point. It's very tedious, so I've been putting it off. Wow, look, already there's something growing. Already we have a muddy young nethercap. Didn't take very long. There's everyone milling about the dining room. What are you doing? This guy's standing on a table. Vika wasn't sitting on a chair. He's standing on a table, as is Crackshot. You know, I think there's some error here. I think there's plenty of tables, but for some reason the dwarves aren't registering them as tables. And so that's why they keep complaining there's not enough tables. But I turned it off. I turned it off from being a dining hall, and then I redid it from a different table. Thought that would reset it. Doesn't seem to be working. You know what I could do while we're waiting? Is I can smooth the military floor. We're not going to be able to get to these. So, but we can get to all this anyway. Yeah, those we're not going to be able to get to, but that's okay. And we'll smooth everything up to the actual killing ground. And now that I think about it, well, we can do this much here. This isn't smoothed out, which probably should be to prevent climbers. So I'm going to have them do that too. just the walls, not the floors. Alright, excellent. Oh, and there we are. What I like about the location of this room is it's on the same floor as our living quarters. So I can kind of go back and forth between them, watch what the dwarves are doing, and also watch this area at the same time. So that's convenient. But we are out of time. So what I'll do is I'll come back on when the room is full, and I'll set up the farms and the animal areas, and then what we're going to do is we're going to break into the first cavern lair and we're going to explore it. So next episode, exploring the first cavern lair. Once again, I am Marcus Aurelius. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.